Hi everyone, this is Lenora, Hawaii's Pickle Lady. Today I have a very special guest. Her name is Malin. She's going to show us first of all how to cook the rice because many of you are not familiar with this kind of rice. Okay, we're gonna cook 2.5 cups of sweet rice. And you must use this type of rice. You could also use the Thai brown or white long grain sticky rice. But you cannot use like the Calrose, the Basmati, or other types of rice. It must be this special because they call it sticky rice because as it cooks, it is very sticky and it sticks together. Okay, so if you have this pot, that would be great. It's very convenient. So you just wash the rice a couple times and then put it in there, and then if your rice have like a label like this, you can use a sushi rice, which is number 3. Or if you don't have the rice like this or just a simple rice cooker, you can use like your finger to measure it. It's like up to the first level here. Just rest your finger like that. So I did wash the rice like with a couple times to get my water run clear. So now I'm gonna get the water and pour it up to see the number 3 right here. Hope you can see it. Okay, or you can measure it with your first line of your index finger. If you don't have a rice cooker, you can just cook it on the stove. Basically the same thing. You wash the rice until the water is clear a couple times, and then you put clear water, and just on, say if this is the rice, you put your finger. I use my middle finger, it doesn't matter. Index finger or middle finger. So the first joint where the line is, this is the rice, and the water comes to this first joint. And then you cook it, you let it come to a boil, cover it, and take the cover off. You have to watch out it doesn't boil all over. So then you just stir it up real good and let it evaporate, and then cover it and put it at the lowest setting for 15 minutes, and it's done. So now we can crack up the coconut, but I will use the juice to cook the rice because that's when it adds more flavor to the rice. I'm trying to find the soft spot so that way I can drain the juice. So you see, the coconut has 3 eyes on the top. Okay, so I'm finding the soft spot of the coconut, which is, you see the 3 eyes they have. So I found one. So I drill a hole out of it. So that's how I get my juice out of the coconut. So now we found like a little eye of coconut. That's where the juice gonna come out from. It's slowly, but at least we get all the juice out of it. Okay, what happens if you crack the coconut and then just let all the juice out? It will splash all over the place and you're gonna waste some juice. Me, I don't like to waste it because I'm gonna use that juice to cook my sticky rice. So it will add more flavor and also make the sticky rice don't really stick and make it the color a little bit shiner. So from this small coconut, look at how much juice we got. This is about a cup. So it's pretty good amount to cook that sweet rice with. So now I get the juice. So I'm gonna pour that in our sweet rice here. Look at that, we got a pretty good amount of it. And even a little bit left. It's okay, if you have it left over, you also can use this with the brown sugar to make it caramelize. Okay. So that way it's also, we use everything, we don't waste it. Yeah, good. Yeah. So, okay, so I'm gonna crack my coconut now in half. So you see the little crack right here? I'm just gonna go maybe one more. Until I see like a good crack. Just be careful with your finger. Yeah. There you go. This is a good one. Yeah. Okay, so when you crack the coconut, make sure you use the back of the knife, not this one. You can accidentally, you know, the coconut might slip off your hand and then you accidentally cut your own finger. Okay, we're gonna use this kind of sugar, which you can get like in any Asian market. I think she getting the one like come with like a round chunk, and what we did. What happened is I put it in my Blendtec and I ground it up because it's very hard to to melt. So this way I can just take out a little bit and it melts quickly.
Okay. Yeah. And you can also use any kind of sugar that you feel like a brown sugar, you know, the loose one. So we have this much, only 1 cup left. So we're going to use 1 cup of this. Then we're going to use some more brown sugar from here. So basically it's like 2.5 cup of rice. We're probably going to use 2 cups of the sugar. Okay, so now after I have the 2 cup of the sugar, I'm going to use my remaining coconut juice that we got. So it's like 1/2 cup. So we're going to use 1/2 cup. And then we're going to add with another 1.5 cup of the water. 1.5. And we can just gonna keep stir it until it caramelizes. So I'm just gonna stir it until the sugar all melting, and then start to boiling up. And then when it's boiling up, you can reduce the heat to probably like medium heat, and just let it sit, but just keep an eye on it, like keep stirring it so that way it doesn't burn. So now our sugar is boiling up now. So we're gonna add a pinch of salt to make the sugar more sweeter. And now you can see all the bubble boiling all over the pot now. We're gonna reduce the heat to a medium-high heat. Okay. We're gonna let it sit until that become like really thick, almost like a honey.
So you don't have to stir it in between?
You can. Every
so often?
Yeah, because we avoid to burn on the side of the pot right here. But as long as we keep an eye on it, we should be fine. So I'm going to show you how to grate the coconut. Okay. We're going to use this whole coconut for our sticky rice. So you can get this like in Asian market store, where I got it from like a Laos market. I like to use this handheld one.
Where is Laotian market?
Laotian market, we used to have one on Las Vegas Boulevard, Bonanza. That's what it looked like. Very good.
Oh, my granddaughter would love to see this.
Very fresh.
How we grated this coconut without struggling with the knife. Layla, she has a special cutter like this, and you just scratch it.
All right. So after 15 minutes, this is what it become like this. It's like a lot of bubbling up, and it's getting thicker, almost like a syrup. So we're gonna add the coconut milk. We're gonna use the whole thing. So we like to have more coconut flavor.
Oh.
Keep stirring it, and we're gonna follow this process, like probably let it sit like another 10 more minutes until it become caramelized again. And then we'll put the sticky rice in.
About 1.5 pints or more. Yeah.
Whatever they prefer. If they like to have more coconut creamy. A lot of people, they like when they make dessert, they like more creamy coconut. So whatever they prefer, they can add more. But this is just a perfect portion. Okay. So the next step, I'm going to show you how to cut the jackfruit. What I do, I just cut like right in the middle. And the knife gotta be sharp because they are very gluey. Yeah. And you can use some jackfruit to put in that sticky rice dessert that we make too. It's optional. Up to you if you like the flavor of the jackfruit. For me, I like it. That's why I use jackfruit. Look at that.
This is a funny fruit. It can get as big as 25 pounds. And it grows on a big tree. And it just comes sometimes off the trunk of the tree.
Yes.
So to pick these, you have to be very agile and careful not to splatter the fruit all over.
So this one is like kind of overripe because of the core. Usually the core is very gluey, but this one is really good because it doesn't have a lot of gluey except the core. You see the core? Oh, I like this knife. So I will take one whole part out. Okay, so after you cut it out and then you remove the gluey core, I'm gonna take out like a piece of, how say this? A piece of what?
Yeah, a section.
Piece of jackfruit. Yeah, and then you remove all this white stuff right here. That white stuff is no taste. So we just remove all the little white stuff right here that we don't need it, and then we cut it like in half like this. and open like this, and there's a seed. This part right here we don't eat either. We throw it away. And you want to be perfect, you just cut out little core like that.
Now some people eat the seeds, right?
Yes, the seed you can boil it too. So our next step, we're gonna cut the jackfruit. We're gonna put everything with the coconut and the sticky rice. We're gonna put it all in that caramel sugar. We're just gonna cut this way. And if some people they don't like the taste of the jackfruit, then they can just skip that. They're just gonna use the fresh coconut. That's it.
But you never use durian.
No, it won't go with it because the durian is too smushy. And the smell is very bad for some people.
Yeah.
So now our sugar that we've been put on the stove for this long. Look how thick it is. Very thick. So now we're just gonna add the rice that we've been cooking it. That rice, and we can add the coconut, the whole coconut.
We have 10 pieces of jackfruit that's been sliced up, but you can put less if you want, if you think the taste is too strong, or so it's up to you how much you want. And of course we cut one jackfruit, that was a lot, so that part you can just eat on your own. So after this, it's done?
We're gonna add some sesame seed.
Oh, okay. But there's
you can put like 1 tablespoon.
Okay.
Or me, I don't really use the measurement. So I just sprinkle it.
Yeah, okay. And so there's no further cooking, no baking or anything?
No, no baking. So basically you just try to mix this really good and they become all in one color, one texture. And then you can just spread it on the container, the glass container. Like square or round, it's up to you.
Do you have to grease the pan?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Because the coconut oil will do the work.
Okay.
That's why we use a lot of coconut, so that way you don't need no oil, nothing.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, coconut oil is all natural.
Smells really good.
Already,
and looks
right?
good.
No,
Can hardly wait to taste it.
Yeah. So while you're mixing this rice and all this ingredient, just maintain the stove to like low heat, so that way the rice keep warm and you keep stirring it, so that way they don't stick to the pot and burn on the bottom. Look how they become now. They all become one color now. And we're just gonna let it sit maybe another 5 minutes. Let all the how you said, evaporate all the whatever the liquid that left. But there's nothing. It's no liquid right now. It's so thick.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about ready to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is our final step. We're just gonna transfer the rice to the plate that look like this. And you're just gonna start to spread it evenly. You can cut it in small portion and serve your family, or you can serve it warm. But for me, I prefer it cool. The rice can stay together better, stick together better. And it depends on how thick you want. If you prefer the thickness, then you spread it whatever you want. For me, I'm easy. I just prefer this enough thickness for me. So we're gonna make like a 2 plate. And if you like, you can also sprinkle some sesame seed on it too, if you want more sesame seed.
Yes.
It's perfect, 2 and a half.
Good.
Press it. Make sure you press it down firmly so it stay like hard and firm. So that way when you cut it in square, they don't falling apart. And then if you want, if you like sesame seed, you can sprinkle.
Right.
Optional. Everything are optional. It depends on what you like to.
Now these sesame seeds are already roasted, but sometimes you can just buy the raw, look like white sesame seeds that you can just toast slowly in a dry frying pan. until it's a little brown like this. You can also use the black sesame seeds. That you don't have to toast, and you can get that from Chinatown. A lot of these things are specialty products, so you have to go to Chinatown for certain things. Okay, now
Here's
taste.
what it come out look like.
Ah, okay.
Have a taste.
Okay. Still kind of soft, like you said. We have to wait about an hour to harden. Wonderful.
Really good. It turned out very good. All fresh ingredient.
When Malin brought this to me in another container, I really loved it. So I had to ask her, please teach me how to do it. So here you are. Perfect. Now, we're gonna let this cool and kind of all come together so that it's easy to cut. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing and don't forget to smash that like button. Mahalo for watching. Thank you. See you again in the next video.